Florida's Space Coast is changing. What's here? What's coming? Are you curious about Florida's Space Coast? Maybe you're thinking of moving here for beaches, the booming space industry, or just a fresh start in one of the most exciting regions in the States. Here's the thing, the Space Coast isn't just another Florida coastline. It's one of the most unique places in the country, where rocket launches light up the sky. Technology companies are reshaping the economy, and small towns are transforming into thriving communities. Hi, my name is Anna Menchaca, your Space Coast Realtor. Around here, they know me as Launching Lives and Building Dreams, because I made it my mission to help people find not just a house, but a lifestyle here in Brevard County. I was born in Russia. I came to Canada when I was 18 years old, and now I've been in America since 2016. But when I came to Space Coast, I knew I had found my home. That's why in this video, I'm going to break down what's here, what's coming, and why this region is exploding in growth in 2025 and beyond. We'll take it step by step, keep it real, and by the end, you will know exactly why the Space Coast deserves a spot at the top of your moving list. Let's dive in. Where is Space Coast is on the map? And how do you get here? Let's start with the basics. Where is Florida Space Coast? And how to get here? Do I fly? Do I drive? How to get to the Space Coast? The Space Coast is essentially all of Brevard County, stretching about 72 miles of Atlantic shoreline, from Titusville in the north down to Melbourne Beach in the south. The Kennedy Space Center sits in Merritt Island, with Cape Canaveral Space Force Station just to its south. Getting here is very easy. You fly to Orlando, you drive to Orlando, but let's take Orlando as our base point. So from Orlando International Airport, it's just about 40 minutes drive east on the Beachline Expressway. Melbourne has its own growing airport. Port Canaveral connects with cruise ships, and Daytona and Sanford airports are within an hour. The new NASA Causeway bridges have also opened improving access right to Kennedy Space Center. So now that you know where it is and how to get here, let's talk about what really puts this place on the global stage: the space industry. Rocket powerhouses, NASA, Blue Origin, SpaceX, Amazon, and ULA. Here's where things get exciting. The Space Coast isn't just a beach town region. It's the launch capital of the world. At the heart of it all is NASA's Kennedy Space Center. This is where Artemis, the program to return humans to the moon, is being prepared. Every launch draws crowds from around the globe. Next, Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos' company, has built a huge rocket factory at Exploration Park and now launches its new Glenn Heavy Lift rocket from Cape Canaveral. And then there's Amazon's project, Kuiper, with a 100,000 square foot facility at the launch and landing facility to process satellites before launch. SpaceX is dominating the skies with Falcon 9, Crew Dragon, and potentially Starship in the future, while United Launch Alliance, the ULA, is flying its new Vulcan rocket. These aren't small moves. They are billion-dollar commitments that will fuel thousands of jobs and make the Space Coast the Silicon Valley of space. And speaking of fueling, let's look at what makes life on the ground so special here. It is the beaches. We have 8.27 miles of beaches, the longest undeveloped coastline in Florida, meaning there is no condos, there is no houses, there is a wildlife, ocean, and the beach. Brevard County boasts 72 continuous miles of Atlantic coastline, one of the longest stretches in Florida. But what makes it unique is that large parts of it remain undeveloped and protected, especially at Canaveral National Shores and Cape Canaveral. This means you can find miles of beaches with no condos, no crowds, just nature and waves. Sea turtles nest here, dolphins swim offshore, and rocket launches streak right above you. It's the only place in America where you can swim in the ocean while watching a spacecraft take off. The natural beauty sets the stage for everything else. But as anyone moving here knows, it's not just about beaches. It's about what kind of lifestyle and opportunities you will find inland. We do have a thriving job market, beyond rockets for sure. Rockets get the headlines, but the job market here is booming in other sectors too. L3 Harris Technologies has major facilities in Palm Bay. Northrop Grumman employs thousands, and more companies are clustering here because of the talent pipeline. That means if you are a tech worker, engineer, or skilled trade person, the Space Coast has opportunities waiting. Add in growth in healthcare, education, and tourism, and you will see why Brevard County is one of the fastest growing regions in Florida. And when the jobs come in, you know what follows: real estate demand, housing growth, and new communities. The Space Coast housing market is on the rise. Titusville is reinventing itself as revitalizing downtown hub. Cocoa and Cocoa Beach offers coastal charm, and Melbourne is seeing new master plan communities take shape. New construction is booming, with subdivision adding amenities like pools, trails, clubhouses. Buyers priced out of Orlando and Miami are discovering that they can get more space for less money here without losing access to jobs or the ocean. But housing is just one piece of the quality of life puzzle. And that leads us to a very special highlight. One of the most ambitious and exciting news developments right here on the Space Coast. I'm gonna give a special spotlight, the Shores on Tranquility, a waterfront community project. Now let's talk about something truly exciting. The Shores of Tranquility, this isn't just another neighborhood. It's 350 acres coastal master plan community that blends modern luxury with Florida natural beauty. As a part of the 2025 Parade of Homes, visitors are touring the Venetia by Halbert Homes, our 3,822 square feet custom residence that highlights exactly what makes Tranquility so unique. Just think about expansive intracoastal views stretching 3 to 5 miles of luxury finishes throughout, a climate-controlled wine room, chef's kitchen with decor appliances, and even a one-of-a-kind Florida basement for added storage. But the vision for Tranquility goes way beyond individual homes. The master plan features resort-style amenities, a pool, fitness center, clubhouse, tennis and pickleball courts, a disc golf course, and scenic walk-through trails. Future plans even include a marina and a lovely town center with a grocery store, dining, and boutique shopping. Within just 5 intercoastal and 9 lakefront premium home styles, and the ability to build with one of 7 renowned custom home builders. This community is about exclusivity, lifestyle, and long-term value. For buyers looking for something truly special, this is a rare opportunity on the Space Coast. And while Tranquility represents the future of luxury coastal living, it also connects perfectly to the bigger story, the way the Space Coast itself is evolving into the blend of innovation, recreation, and lifestyle. A lifestyle built around water and outdoors. Here's what locals love most. Life here revolves around the outdoors. Whether it's surfing on Cocoa Beach, kayaking through mangrove lagoons, fishing off the piers, or watching manatees in the Indian River Lagoon, you will never run out of activities. parks, wildlife refuges, and biking trails connect communities, and golf courses through the county. For families, it's a dream environment with outdoor sports year-round, sunshine, and safe, walkable neighborhoods. And with lifestyle comes culture. So let's transition into what's happening socially on the Space Coast. Let's talk about culture, food, and local vibes. You might think a region known for rockets would be industrial, but the Space Coast surprises visitors with cultural energy. Coco Village is a hotspot for dining and nightlife. Melbourne has thriving arts district. Titusville is seeing a food renaissance. We have local breweries, seafood festivals, and waterfront dining keep the social calendar full. And because of the community is international, thanks to aerospace and NASA, you will find people and influencers from all over the world. But let's be honest, people also ask, what about schools and family life? So let's tackle that next. Let's talk about schools and family. We do have a very friendly living families moving here, and lots of people want to know about education. Brevard Public Schools consistently rank among Florida's strongest districts, with magnet and STEM programs linked directly to the space industry. Charter schools and private options also add variety. Pair that with safe suburban neighborhoods and family-friendly events, and you just got a great recipe for raising your kids. Add in the fact that Orlando's theme parks are just an hour away, and it's clear why families planning roots here. Now, let's take a look at the future. What's coming that will shape the Space Coast for years to come? So what's coming next? Space and infrastructure. The future here is all about more launches, more technology, and more growth. Artemis mission will send astronauts to the moon. Blue Origin's New Glenn will scale up. Amazon Kuiper will send thousands of satellites into orbit. And on the ground, Newcastle bridges and highways upgrades will improve traffic flow. Port Canaveral is expanding to handle both cruise growth and rocket recovery. And if SpaceX brings Starship to Florida, the skyline and economy will change even more dramatically. This isn't just about rockets. It's about transformation at every level. But all that growth makes people ask, what does this mean for me if I moved here? What it means for you living on the Space Coast? At the end of the day, the Space Coast is more than rocket launches. It is a lifestyle choice. You're choosing affordability compared to other Florida markets, access to jobs in the cutting-edge industries, natural beaches, family-friendly communities, and a future that's literally launching into orbit. If you move here, you're not just buying a home. You're stepping into a region where history is being made every week. And the best part, you can enjoy the ride while sitting on the beach with your toes in the sand. Here's a bonus tip for you. Let me tell you about my favorite piece of advice. If you're moving to Space Coast, keep a lunch calendar. You can pin it on your fridge or you can sync it in your phone. Why? Because rocket launches are a part of everyday life here. And they are on the things that make this area so special. Imagine this. You're sitting down for dinner with your family, maybe some friends, and suddenly you hear the rumble of engines in distance. You step outside, look east, and see rockets striking through the sky over the Atlantic Ocean. It is surreal. It's inspiring. And it never gets old. Even locals who lived here for decades still gather on beaches, piers, and rooftops to watch. A launch calendar helps you plan these moments so you don't miss them. It also becomes a fun way to connect with your neighbors. and build memories, whether it's a hosting backyard watch party or driving out to Playa Linda Beach for a close-up view, or simply pausing your day to look up. The best part? You're not just living near history. You're living inside of it. And that's a gift you wouldn't find anywhere else. At the end of the day, the Space Coast isn't just changing, it's transforming into one of the most dynamic regions in Florida. From rockets to beaches, from jobs to lifestyle, this is where the future meets the shoreline. I'm Anna Menchaca with Moving to Space Coast, Florida. My passion is helping people find their place in this community because it's not just about real estate. It's about launching lives and building dreams. If you're considering making the move to Titusville, maybe Cocoa, or maybe Cocoa Beach, Merritt Island, or Melbourne, I'd love to help you find not just a house, but a home that fits your future. You can call or text me at 321-317-3948, email me at annamench77@gmail.com, or visit my website at maximushomesllc.com. And of course, follow me on social media because this is where you can find me so easy. Right here on YouTube, Moving to Space Coast, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. And together, we wouldn't just find you a property. We will launch your Florida dream right here on the Space Coast.